that's here. And I thank you for your support. I thank you for your support as a member of this community and as a member of the larger community. And we are going to win this race. We're going to win it on issues. We're going to win it because we need early voting.
Yes.
We're going to win it because we're fighting with the assembly and to have minimum wage. Because my life has been about access and equality. Now, you know, we help desegregate the schools here in Montclair. Jack Farrell, don't be trying to act like you too young and don't know. Desegregate the schools in Montclair. And we could have torn this community apart. And we said we were going to come together to do what was creative, gave quality education, and made our community stick together. And so we desegregated by magnet schools. And Montclair is one of the few towns in the state of New Jersey who voluntarily entered into a desegregation order because we worked for the purpose of the journey at the end was going to get us all together in a better place. And this is what the campaign, I know in my service, you didn't send me to Trenton not to take this tough stance. They may not be politically easy, but you didn't send me there to be a get along, go along. Now, I'm not about a lot of talk, but I'm about action. And when we talk about President Obama, and 2 weeks ago, I was on the phone with President Obama because President Obama had the legislators who were enacting his legislation across the country on a telephone call. And he told us that when they pass the laws in the federal level, they have to be enacted on the state level or the Republicans will be able to nullify all the progressive programs that the president stands for. And so on the state level, my bills are Obamacare, which is a health exchange. Twice we passed it. Twice the governor vetoed it, and he said in his speech, I just personally don't care for Obamacare. And my response is, Governor, personally, you live in Mendon, and there are 400,000 people without health insurance. When we talk about President Obama, he talks about early voting and being able to do it in an efficient and effective manner. It is my bill that is on the governor's desk for early voting, allowing you to vote 15 days out before the election. And Congressman Lewis, because we were on the phone with him, has joined forces with us in the legislature to make sure the governor signs that bill. When we talk about, and if you will, the issue of public education, know where I stand. I stand with the community, with the teachers, with the families who understand that public education is the pathway to success for our children. I'm not leaning for vouchers. I'm not almost embracing vouchers. I'm not trying to decide if I was or wasn't on vouchers. I stand for public education. And we have to do that. And that's unequivocal. Because with Governor Christie, you can't equivocate. Because if you do, that's weakness.
Yep.
And he will rough shot over your issues and the values in the community here. No, you got to stand. And I have no problem with Governor Christie. He's running his game, his program. We have to be strong enough to take our program to him and win it. And as your mother would say, girl, there's sometimes when you have to know how to trouble the waters. And we have to know how to trouble the waters in an effective, efficient way to get results. And so when you talk about, and in closing, being able to be the Senate pro temp, which is the third person in line in the Senate. Now we know that they've never had, I was the first and the only African American to ever sit on the judiciary in the state of New Jersey. And we know that with the judiciary and the pro temp, but in the Senate pro temp, we're part of leadership. The 34th district has the most powerful institutional position. The 34th district has the speaker who controls the House and the pro temp. When we meet, and we're so powerful now, we get invited to the meeting before the meeting. And to show you how powerful we are, Sheila is now calling the meeting. So here we are talking about institutional power. That's why they want somebody else different there. Because you lose your institutional power because there's no seniority and the new senator goes to the back of the bus. That's right. And what is institutional power with pro temp? And that is a position, mind you, that's voted on by the entire Senate. So if they ever say that I'm not bipartisan, you could say, well, Governor Christie, didn't all your Republican senators vote for pro temp? And you get to set the agenda, to determine what bills will or won't be on committee lists. You get to set the tone and have the discussions about the policy issues that will be developed. And that will be lost. They know it, but they don't want you to know it. This is not about personalities. This is not about trivia. This is about being able to return to a position, powerful position, not for me, which is why everybody's upset about senatorial courtesy. No, I don't use it for me. I use it for my constituents. And if I may, and briefly, for Senator Littman, who I love, I started out as the babysitter for Will and Carrie. And Senator Littman and Smitty and Barbara will know this, and Mr. Sterling, moved to Montclair from Greenwich Village. I thought she was the hippest woman in the world because she had moved from Greenwich Village, just studied at the Sorbonne, taught Dr. Martin Luther King French, and wore one long braid down the back. Now, what more could you? And I was young. And when she came to Montclair, it was a Republican bastion. And Senator Littman, who started out as the president of the Montclair PTA, her, Smitty, all the rest of the community went door by door, grassroots by grassroots. They turned this town into a democratic bastion of power, but they did it at the grassroots. And we went door to door. And it was only 21 senators. That was before the before the one person, one vote. And so as the babysitter, later I moved on to being her senatorial aide. And when we went to the Senate, if you wanted to go to the ladies' room, because she was the only woman in the Senate, you had to get a state trooper. Because they never built the Capitol with the idea that they'd ever have a female senator. And he'd have to stand at the door. And then when I went to the assembly, Senator Lippman said to me, "Baby, there's something I've been working on for 14 years, and that's the HIV and AIDS. And that our children are dying, and that our women are dying, and our sisters are dying, but no one seems to care. And no one will cast the vote enough so we can deal with this." And I said, "Senator Lippman, I'm in." And thereafter, soon thereafter, Senator Lippman died. And then I got a chance to go to the Senate. And it was for Senator Lippman, for all of those women and children, because we had the highest number of pediatric AIDS in the nation, and everybody was going to sit silent. We had the highest number of minority women dying of HIV and AIDS, and everybody was going to sit silent. And I said, oh no. So what did we use? I use senatorial courtesy. Because the people who benefit from senatorial courtesy are always very important people. And very important people don't like to be held up about anything. And I said, I get the votes, and you get senatorial courtesy. And they didn't give me the votes for 2 years, and I held up everybody for 2 years because I said, I'll take the heat, but somebody is going to say the heat. And after 2 years of important people not being able to be appointed to unimportant positions, in comparison to the issue of HIV and AIDS, they gave me the votes. And we got it passed and signed. And in 2010, or last year, the state health department did a study and said, under Chris Christie, that because of the HIV bill, thousands of people's lives have been saved. And so in closing, we're here for the future. And you know, I'm a grandmother. John left. He had to go to bed or something. He ate enough pizza. But you know, in some traditions, it's the grandmothers who declare war. And it's the grandmothers who negotiate the peace. Because we understand we have an understanding of the past. We have a foot in the present to keep the balance. And we have one in the future for our community, our children, and our country. Okay, I'm a grandmother. I know